Welcome to My Why, a series of personal stories that share the history and impact of YPN, the premier provider of prenatal and parenting programs in East Central Iowa. We support, educate, and empower families since 1985. Join us in our mission and learn the why YPN for so many in our community.
Welcome to another episode of My Why. My name is Alejandro Pino. I'm honored and privileged to serve as Executive Director of YPN, and I am super pumped today because we have the famous Nicole, who is a program specialist at YPN. I always love being able to get to interview our staff members because I want the community and the world really to know just the greatness that I am surrounded by every day at YPN. So, Nicole, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so great to have you here. And I got to tell you, one of the things that strikes me about just you and what you have been able to contribute to the team is a sense of calm. I think everybody will define you as that. Your work ethic is amazing.
Thank you.
You put in just 100% with everything that you do, and more than anything, you care. And I heard you say that the other day when we were considering canceling because of the weather. You said, I don't like canceling.
Yes, I don't like canceling because our programming is important to our participants, and I never want to let them down or prevent them from coming to programming.
I love that. And again, it's the caring piece that really strikes me about you. But we'll start out because we want people to kind of get to know you a little bit. Just can you share with the listeners anything about you that you want to share with them? Just maybe a little bit about your background?
Yeah, absolutely. So I came to a YPN in kind of a unique situation. I actually taught dance for a number of years to kiddos of all ages. And through that, I was really able to see kind of the impact that different activities, family dynamics have on children's lives. And I've always wanted to be like in the service field. Even in high school, I was really interested in nonprofit work and giving back to the community. So it was just a really beautiful opportunity that YPN was here, and it's kind of been really awesome to...
Well, we're super lucky to have you. So tell them, and I know you're a Hawkeye. You graduated from the University of Iowa, right? And what did you study?
I studied dance and philosophy.
Yeah, super interesting. I've always been impressed by that combination. And then you're also a certified yoga instructor.
I am,
right?
Yes.
So again, for those, the calming factor that she brings is amazing to the office too. So thanks for sharing that as well. So let's dig in a little bit about more YPN specific questions now, okay? So just, we want people to kind of know what YPN is all about. To you, you kind of alluded a little bit about what led you to YPN, but can you dig in, what attracted you to YPN?
I think one of the biggest things that attracted me to YPN is just the diversity of the clientele that we serve and how much of an impact we're able to make in the community. I know we talk a lot about how through helping families be more successful, to empower them, that we're really impacting the community as a whole. So the families that we're helping are part of this current generation and are helping really shape Cedar Rapids, but then also the children that we're helping are helping to shape that future and just really help people not only survive, but thrive in their lives. And that's really important to me.
Yeah, that's a beautiful answer. What we're really trying to do is really impact generations.
Yes.
Right? And I know it's not an easy kind of quick fix. It takes a while.
Right.
But somebody has to do it, right? We have to be that change within the community as well. So thank you so much for that wonderful and beautiful answer as well. So you get the honor and privilege also of working with families pretty intimately. You're the first kind of point of contact for our organization because you do all, the intakes. So you get to know the families right away. And I know you love doing that. She has a huge smile on her face right now for those that can't see her. But so tell us a little bit about how the families that we serve inspire you.
I am so excited to come to work every day because I never leave uninspired. Every day I meet families who I think the thing that inspires me most about them is that a lot of them are in hard situations. They have had trauma, they've had social economic barriers, but they come to YPN because they are invested in their future. And I think through all the barriers that they face and all the stories that I hear, like the one common denominator is, I want to be a better parent for my children.
Wow.
And that's so inspiring to me because I think through this world, it's really easy to focus on those negative things. And it's really easy to say like, oh, you know what? People aren't trying. But that's not the case. These families work their butts off so that they can better their lives and their children's lives. And I am forever inspired by that every day.
Yes, and that also strikes me every day as well. And that's one thing we want the community to know is how proud the community should be of the families that we serve.
Absolutely.
Right? Because there's so many misconceptions out there, and you kind of alluded to that a little bit too. And that I would say probably about 99% of the families come voluntarily.
Yes.
Right?
I think with the exception of like one program that we run, all our families come voluntarily.
Yes.
None of them are forced to be there. They're all there because they want to be there.
Yeah.
And so seeing the effort that they put into coming to group, coming to programming, going to home visits is just really beautiful. And you can just feel the love that they have for their children, for their families, and the excitement that they have for their futures as they go through programming. And it's just a really amazing thing to be a part of.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. Heartwarming.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Super heartwarming.
Very heartwarming.
So one of the things that we always tout to as a staff is that we consider all of us a leader, okay? And we consider you a leader within the organization as well, too. But how do you hope to impact kind of YPN staff and the families that you serve?
I always like to be a good listener for families. I think our job is to support and empower them, and I like to be able to hopefully do that with our staff as well. I think people have a lot more potential than they maybe give themselves credit for, but if we can be good listeners and good, what's the word I'm looking for?
Inspiration?
Not even inspiration. I think people have inspiration inside of them already, but if we can kind of be a catalyst for them to find their own success, I think that's really important because we never want to do the work for people. We just want to inspire them to do the work.
I love that.
Because they want to do it.
That's exactly right. And one thing, too, you know, one of the great, I think, powers that we have individually, but also as a staff of YPN, is to be that listener and that encourager.
Yes.
Because many of the families we know have never had that at home, right?
Yes.
So we know that every one of us has it within ourselves to do amazing things.
Yes.
But so we're trying to get that out and to let people know that, yes, you can.
Yes.
Correct?
One of my favorite parts of the intake process is actually, we ask them all these questions, but then at the end we say, what are some of your family strengths? And it's always interesting to me, and it's kind of eye-opening to hear the things that they say, or like, oh, well, I don't have any strengths. And it's like, no, like, you're doing so many things well. Like, you're here. You're putting the effort in. Like, look, your children are fed. You're doing all these amazing things, and we're going to help you recognize that. And then we're going to build on those things because you are already doing all the right stuff.
You're amazing.
Thanks.
Yes, and everybody's hearing it too, which is fantastic. So as you kind of see, you know, look at the families that you meet with, what would you say are some of the changes in families? And maybe even, I'm also going to add the next question, some of the barriers maybe that you see within the families that we serve.
I would say some of the biggest barriers that are kind of the ones that you can see on the outside would be like transportation, not being able to afford groceries. A lot of our families, they kind of struggle with that vicious cycle of, I can't go to work because I can't afford childcare.
Yes.
But I can't afford childcare because I can't go to work. So how do we kind of balance that? How do we find resources for them so that they can start to kind of come out of that cycle? But Yeah, transportation's a big one, which is really awesome that we're able to provide transportation to some of our programming. But I think also just having someone to believe in them.
Yes.
I think the lack of self-confidence is probably one of the biggest barriers I see. And it's just because I think we all struggle with our self-confidence sometimes, but especially when you're put in difficult situations, it's really easy to take that onto yourself and feel like you are the reason that you're in a difficult situation. And that's not most of the time the case. So I think just being able to see their confidence grow, and also that's always really amazing to me, being able to see that they are going home and they're working on these things with their kids and seeing the growth, like not only as in them as parents, but also in their children's development, and seeing that relationship that they're building as their confidence grows is really a beautiful thing. And it's probably one of my favorite things about getting to witness all the growth in our families.
It's amazing. I'm going to throw in a question that's not on here.
Okay.
You know, 'cause sometimes I like to do stuff like that. So if you were to be able to tell the community what they could do to help the families that we serve, what comes to mind?
I think, sorry, excuse me. I think we could always use more empathy in our community and in our world. I think that it's really easy to separate ourselves from other people's situations and say, oh, well, that would never happen to me. But that's, like, a lot of us are one step away, one layoff away, one expensive hospital bill away from not being able to buy diapers for our children. So I think if we can put ourselves in other people's shoes and just learn that we are a community and we need to support each other as a community and uplift each other, that would be probably one of the biggest things that our community can do.
Gosh, so powerful. Word empathy is incredibly powerful, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, we've come to the end here. So the last question, probably the most important one that we've, of why we're here is, what is your why, Nicole?
You know, I think about this every day because there's never a day that I feel that I don't want to be at YPN and working with our families. And I think there's a lot of whys, but my biggest one would probably be that I think we've all been in places in our lives where we've struggled, whether it's with anything. Being a parent is hard when you're prepared, when you have all the resources you need, when you have the support system you need. And it's even harder when you don't have all those things going on. I think I do it every day because in my own life, I've known what it's been like to be in difficult situations. And any way that I can help others is a good day for me.
Gosh, giving back, right?
Yes.
Oh, what an amazing interview this has been, too. I'm going to throw in one more fun question for you, okay? So let's see. We kind of know what you do to relax every day because we kind of see it in action at the office, you know. But let's do this one. If you weren't in this role, what other work would you see yourself doing?
Yeah. For a while, I did consider joining the Peace Corps.
Interesting.
I was in the application process for that.
Okay.
And that's something that I've always been really interested in, being able to not only help those in need in our community, but also in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
We're all connected on this planet, and any way that we can serve others, I think, is serving ourselves in a way too, and not in a selfish way, just in a, like, we're all part of the same ecosystem, we're all part of the same energy system. So any way that I can give back is kind of what I always see myself doing, whether that's through teaching, whether that's through volunteering. Not sure what that would necessarily look like, but that's kind of my bigger answer for that.
Yeah. Gosh, what an amazing interview this has been and conversation. And I know I have been struck by a lot of the answers that you provided, and I'm sure the listeners have as well, too. It shows the goodness of your heart and what you do, essentially, in anything that you want to do, right? In life is give back and to help. And that, again, is a great indicator of the amazing people that I get the honor and privilege of working with on a daily basis. So thank you so much for everything that you bring, not only to YPN, but to the community, Nicole. Super grateful to have you here. And thanks, everybody, for listening to another episode. We look forward to having you on the next one. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to My Why, a YPN podcast. We can't make our impact without your support. Please consider donating to YPN. Your gift will make a difference. Visit www.ypniowa.org/give to donate today.